Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit in? Like there's something different about you that sets you apart from the crowd? What if I told you that this feeling isn't just in your head, but a sign that you're one of the chosen ones? That's right. You might be part of a special group of people who are destined for something greater. But here's the catch. Being chosen comes with its own set of challenges. Invisible forces are at work in your life, and they're not always friendly. In fact, these unseen powers might be hunting you right now. Don't worry, though. This isn't about scaring you. It's about opening your eyes to the truth of who you are and the incredible potential you hold. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the world of the chosen ones. We'll explore why you might be feeling different, what these invisible forces are, and most importantly, how you can use this knowledge to transform your life. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever had a gut feeling that guided you in the right direction, even when it didn't make logical sense? Or maybe you've experienced strange coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. These could be signs that you're tapped into something bigger than yourself, something that most people can't see or understand. Being a chosen one isn't about being better than others. It's about having a unique role to play in the grand scheme of things. It's about being awake in a world that's largely asleep. And yes, it can be scary and overwhelming at times, but it's also incredibly exciting and full of possibilities. So, if you've ever felt like there's more to life than what meets the eye, if you've sensed that you're meant for something greater, or if you're simply curious about the hidden forces shaping our world, then stick around. We're about to embark on a journey that could change the way you see yourself and the world around you forever. Let me share a little bit about my own journey with you. A few years ago, I was living what most people would call a normal life. I had a steady job, a nice apartment, and a group of friends I hung out with on weekends. But deep down, I felt empty, like something was missing. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was meant for something more, but I had no idea what that something was. Then, one night, everything changed. I had a dream that was so vivid, so real, that it shook me to my core. In this dream, I saw myself standing on a high mountain, looking down at the world below. A voice spoke to me, saying, "You are here for a reason. It's time to wake up." When I woke up, I was drenched in sweat, my heart pounding, but I felt different, like a veil had been lifted from my eyes. From that day on, strange things started happening. I began to notice patterns everywhere, in numbers, in nature, in the words people said. It was like the universe was trying to send me messages. I'd think of someone I hadn't seen in years, only to run into them on the street the next day. I'd have hunches about things that turned out to be spot on, even when I had no logical reason to think that way. At first, I thought I was going crazy. I didn't talk about these experiences with anyone because I was afraid they'd think I'd lost my mind. But the more I paid attention, the more I realized that these weren't random occurrences. There was a pattern to it all, a hidden order that I was just beginning to glimpse. That's when I started researching and reaching out to others who had similar experiences. I discovered that I wasn't alone. There were others out there who felt the same way, who had their own stories of awakening. We were all part of something bigger, something that most people couldn't see or understand. But here's the thing. This awakening wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. As I became more aware of these invisible forces, I also noticed that not all of them seemed friendly. There were times when I felt like I was being watched, or like something was trying to hold me back. It was as if the more I tried to grow and expand my consciousness, the more resistance I faced. That's when I realized that being chosen wasn't just a gift, it was also a challenge. It meant being aware of forces that most people never have to deal with. It meant facing fears and obstacles that others might never encounter. But it also meant having the potential to make a real difference in the world. I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that if you're experiencing similar things, you're not alone. And you're not crazy. What you're feeling, what you're experiencing, it's real. It's valid. And it's incredibly important. We're in this together, you and I. We're part of a growing group of people who are waking up to the truth of our reality. And while it can be scary at times, it's also incredibly exciting. Because once you realize that you're one of the chosen ones, once you understand the true nature of these invisible forces, you'll never see the world the same way again. Now, let's talk about what it really means to be a chosen one. First off, let's clear something up. Being chosen doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It doesn't mean you're more special or more important. What it does mean is that you have a unique role to play in the world. You have gifts and abilities that, when developed and used properly, can make a real difference. Think of it like this. In a big orchestra, every instrument is important. The violin isn't more important than the drum, and the flute isn't more important than the cello. Each has its own unique sound, its own part to play in creating the overall symphony. Being a chosen one is like that. You have your own unique sound, your own part to play in the grand symphony of life. So, what are some of the traits that chosen ones often share? Well, for starters, many chosen ones are highly sensitive. This doesn't just mean you cry easily at movies, although that might be true too. It means you're sensitive to energies, to the emotions of others, to the subtle currents that most people miss. You might find yourself feeling overwhelmed in crowded places, or instantly knowing how someone feels even if they're trying to hide it. Another common trait is a deep sense of purpose, even if you're not sure what that purpose is yet. You might feel like you're meant for something important, something big. This can be both exciting and frustrating, especially if you're not sure how to fulfill that purpose. Many chosen ones are also natural healers or teachers. You might find that people are drawn to you for advice or comfort. You might have a knack for making others feel better, whether through words, touch, or just your presence. Chosen ones often have a strong connection to nature and animals. You might feel most at peace when you're out in the woods or by the ocean. Animals might seem to trust you instantly, even if they're usually shy around others. Another trait is a thirst for knowledge and understanding. You're probably the type of person who's always asking why. You're not satisfied with surface-level explanations. You want to understand the deeper truths behind things. Now, here's an important point. Being chosen is both a gift and a responsibility. It's a gift because it means you have the potential to see and do things that most people can't. You have access to insights and energies that can help you navigate life in amazing ways. But it's also a responsibility because with this awareness comes the duty to use it wisely. Being chosen means you have the power to make a real difference in the world. But it also means you have to be careful about how you use that power. It's not about showing off or trying to prove you're special. It's about using your gifts in service of something greater than yourself. It's also important to understand that being chosen doesn't mean your life will be easy. In fact, many chosen ones face significant challenges and obstacles. This is partly because you're more aware of the invisible forces at work in the world, which can be overwhelming at times. But it's also because these challenges are often part of your growth process. They're what help you develop your gifts and become who you're meant to be. Think of it like this. A diamond starts out as a lump of coal. It's only through intense pressure and heat that it becomes something beautiful and valuable. In the same way, the challenges you face as a chosen one are what shape you, what help you grow into your full potential. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're facing difficulties that seem unfair or too hard, remember, this is part of your journey. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, to develop your gifts, to become more of who you're meant to be. Being a chosen one also means you have a responsibility to take care of yourself. Because you're more sensitive to energies and emotions, it's crucial that you learn how to protect and nurture yourself. This might mean setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. It might mean taking time for self-care, whether that's meditation, time in nature, or simply quiet time alone to recharge. It's also important to find your tribe, other chosen ones who understand what you're going through. Remember, even though being chosen can sometimes feel isolating, you're not alone. There are others out there who are on the same journey. Finding and connecting with these kindred spirits can be incredibly healing and supportive. Lastly, being a chosen one means staying open to growth and learning. The journey of awakening never really ends. There's always more to discover, more to understand, more ways to grow. Stay curious, stay open, and most importantly, stay true to yourself and your path. Remember, being chosen isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to grow, to learn, to face your fears and overcome them. It's about using your unique gifts to make the world a little bit better in whatever way you can, whether that's through kindness, creativity, healing, teaching, or simply being a light in the darkness. Your role is important. You matter, and the world needs what only you can give. Now that we've talked about what it means to be a chosen one, let's dive into the concept of invisible forces. These are the unseen energies and powers that shape our world and our lives in ways we often don't realize. Think of them as the hidden currents beneath the surface of reality, influencing everything from our thoughts and emotions to the events that unfold around us. When we talk about invisible forces, we're not just talking about ghosts or spirits, although those might be part of it for some people. We're talking about a whole range of unseen influences. These can include energy fields, thought patterns, collective consciousness, and even the ripple effects of our own actions and intentions. One way to understand these forces is to think about gravity. We can't see gravity, but we can feel its effects. It shapes everything about our physical world, from how we move to how planets orbit the sun. In the same way, these invisible forces shape our lives, even if we can't see them directly. So how might these forces show up in your everyday life? Well, have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the vibe was off, even though nothing looked wrong? That's you picking up on invisible energies. Or maybe you've had a gut feeling about something that turned out to be right, even when all the logical evidence pointed in a different direction. That could be your intuition tapping into these unseen currents of information. These forces can also manifest as synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random, like thinking about an old friend and then running into them unexpectedly, or repeatedly seeing the same number everywhere you look. These aren't just random occurrences. They're often signs that you're in alignment with something greater, that you're tuned into these invisible forces. It's important to understand that these forces aren't inherently good or bad. They're neutral, like electricity. Electricity can power your home or give you a nasty shock. It all depends on how it's used. In the same way, these invisible forces can be both helpful and challenging. They can guide you towards your true path, or they can create obstacles that test your resolve. For chosen ones, these forces often become more noticeable as you awaken to your true nature. It's like you're developing a sixth sense, becoming aware of layers of reality that most people never notice. This can be exciting, but it can also be overwhelming at times. That's why it's so important to learn how to work with these forces, rather than being buffeted around by them. Remember, becoming aware of these forces doesn't mean you're at their mercy. In fact, the more you understand them, the more you can learn to navigate them skillfully. It's like learning to sail. At first, the wind and waves might seem overwhelming, but as you learn to read the currents and adjust your sails, you can use these same forces to take you where you want to go. Now we come to a crucial question. Why do chosen ones often feel like they're being hunted by these invisible forces? It's a feeling many awakening individuals experience. A sense that unseen powers are working against them, creating obstacles or trying to hold them back. But why does this happen? First, it's important to understand that this hunting isn't about punishment or persecution. It's actually a natural part of the awakening process. Think of it like this. When you start to wake up spiritually, you're essentially raising your vibration. You're becoming more aligned with your true self and with higher frequencies of consciousness. This is a beautiful thing, but it also creates a kind of energetic friction. Imagine you're a bright light suddenly switching on in a dark room. You're going to disturb the darkness, right? In the same way, as you awaken and raise your vibration, you start to disturb the lower energies around you. This can create a kind of pushback or resistance from these lower frequencies. This resistance can manifest in various ways. You might find yourself facing more challenges or obstacles than usual. People in your life might suddenly start acting differently towards you. You might experience periods of doubt or fear that seem to come out of nowhere. All of these can feel like you're being hunted or targeted by negative forces. But here's the thing. These challenges aren't meant to break you. They're meant to strengthen you. They're opportunities for growth, for developing your spiritual muscles. Each obstacle you overcome, each fear you face, makes you stronger and more aligned with your true self. Think about how a muscle grows. It doesn't get stronger by lifting feathers. It needs resistance. It needs to be challenged. In the same way, your spiritual growth requires challenges to help you develop and strengthen your abilities. Another reason chosen ones might feel hunted is that they're often working against the grain of mainstream society. As you awaken, you might start to question things that most people take for granted. You might start to see the flaws in systems that others accept without question. This can make you feel like an outsider, like you're swimming against the current. But remember, this feeling of being different or separate is actually a sign that you're on the right track. You're not meant to fit in with a system that isn't aligned with higher truths. Your role is to help change that system, to bring more light and awareness into the world. It's also worth noting that sometimes the feeling of being hunted can come from within. As you awaken, you might become more aware of your own shadow aspects, the parts of yourself that you've repressed or denied. Facing these inner demons can feel like being hunted by dark forces, but it's actually a crucial part of the integration process. Lastly, understand that the sensation of being hunted often intensifies right before a major breakthrough. It's like the darkness is deepest just before dawn. If you're feeling particularly challenged or targeted, it might be a sign that you're on the verge of a significant leap in your spiritual growth. The key is to remember that you're not alone in this. Many chosen ones go through similar experiences, and while it can feel scary or overwhelming at times, it's all part of a greater process of growth and awakening. These challenges are not meant to break you. They're meant to reveal your true strength, to help you step into your power as a chosen one. Now that we've explored what it means to be a chosen one and why you might feel hunted by invisible forces, let's talk about some specific signs that might indicate you're on this unique path. Remember, not everyone will experience all of these signs, and experiencing some of them doesn't automatically mean you're a chosen one. But if several of these resonate with you, it could be a strong indication that you're part of this special group. First, let's talk about sensitivity. Many chosen ones are highly sensitive individuals. This doesn't just mean you get your feelings hurt easily. It means you're sensitive to energies, to the emotions of others, to the subtle vibrations of the world around you. You might find that you can walk into a room and immediately sense the mood, even if nothing has been said. You might feel overwhelmed in crowded places because you're picking up on everyone's energy. This sensitivity can be challenging, but it's also a gift. It allows you to perceive things that others miss, to understand people on a deeper level. Another common sign is a feeling of not fitting in. Many chosen ones feel like outsiders from a young age. You might have always felt different, like you were seeing the world through a different lens than those around you. This can be lonely at times, but it's also a sign that you're perceiving things that others aren't. Your unique perspective is valuable, even if it sometimes sets you apart. Chosen ones often experience a deep sense of purpose, even if they're not sure what that purpose is. You might have a persistent feeling that you're meant to do something important, something that will make a difference in the world. This sense of purpose can be both exciting and frustrating, especially if you're not sure how to fulfill it. But it's a powerful driving force, pushing you to grow and evolve. Many chosen ones are natural healers or teachers. You might find that people are drawn to you for advice or comfort. Friends might tell you that they feel better just by being around you. You might have a knack for understanding complex concepts and explaining them in ways that others can easily grasp. This healing and teaching ability isn't always about formal roles. It can show up in your everyday interactions with others. Synchronicities are another common experience for chosen ones. These are meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. You might think of someone and then immediately receive a call from them. You might repeatedly see certain numbers or symbols. These synchronicities are often seen as signs from the universe, guiding you on your path. Many chosen ones have vivid dreams or visions. Your dreams might be unusually detailed or meaningful. You might experience lucid dreams where you're aware that you're dreaming. Some chosen ones even have prophetic dreams that seem to predict future events. These dreams and visions can be a way for your subconscious mind, or even higher spiritual forces, to communicate with you. A strong connection to nature is another common trait. You might feel most at peace when you're in natural settings. You might have an uncanny ability to communicate with animals or plants. Many chosen ones feel a deep sense of responsibility towards the earth and are drawn to environmental causes. Chosen ones often have a thirst for knowledge and understanding. You're probably the type of person who's always asking why. You're not satisfied with surface-level explanations. You want to understand the deeper truths behind things. This curiosity can lead you down fascinating paths of study and exploration. Another sign is experiencing unusual physical sensations. This might include feeling energy moving through your body, seeing auras or lights, or sensing presences that others can't perceive. While these experiences can be unsettling at first, they're often signs that you're becoming more attuned to subtle energies. Lastly, many chosen ones go through periods of intense personal growth or spiritual awakening. This might involve questioning everything you thought you knew, going through difficult life changes, or experiencing a sudden expansion of consciousness. These periods of growth can be challenging, but they're also transformative, helping you step into your true power. Remember, experiencing these signs doesn't mean your life will be easy or that you're somehow superior to others. Being a chosen one comes with its own set of challenges and responsibilities. But recognizing these signs can help you understand yourself better and start to embrace your unique path. If you're resonating with many of these signs, take a moment to reflect on what that means for you. How can you start to embrace your role as a chosen one? How can you develop your gifts and use them to make a positive difference in the world? Remember, being chosen isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to grow, to face challenges, and to use your unique gifts in service of something greater than yourself. Now that we've explored the concept of invisible forces and why chosen ones might feel hunted by them, let's talk about how to handle these energies. Remember, these forces aren't inherently good or bad. It's all about how we interact with them. So, how can you navigate these unseen currents in a way that supports your growth and well-being? First and foremost, awareness is key. Start paying attention to the subtle energies around you. Notice how different places, people, or situations make you feel. Are there certain environments that drain you? Others that energize you? By becoming more aware of these energy dynamics, you can make conscious choices about where and how you spend your time. Grounding is another crucial practice for dealing with invisible forces. When you're grounded, you're connected to the Earth's energy, which can help stabilize you amidst the swirling currents of unseen energies. Simple grounding techniques include walking barefoot on grass or sand, visualizing roots growing from your feet into the earth, or holding grounding crystals like black tourmaline or hematite. Protection is also important, especially when you're feeling vulnerable or overwhelmed. There are many ways to create energetic protection. You might visualize a bubble of white or golden light surrounding you. You could use protective symbols or wear jewelry that you've imbued with protective intent. Some people find that carrying certain crystals or herbs helps them feel more protected. Learning to set boundaries is crucial for chosen ones. Because you're sensitive to energies, it's easy to get overwhelmed or drained by others. Practice saying no to things that don't serve you. Learn to recognize when you need time alone to recharge. It's not selfish to protect your energy. It's necessary for your well-being and your ability to help others. Meditation and mindfulness practices can be powerful tools for navigating invisible forces. These practices help you stay centered and calm, even when energies around you are chaotic. They also help you distinguish between your own thoughts and emotions and those you might be picking up from others or from the environment. Developing your intuition is another key skill. Your intuition is like a personal guidance system, helping you navigate the unseen realms. Pay attention to your gut feelings, your sudden inspirations, your dreams. The more you trust and act on your intuition, the stronger it will become. Remember, you have the power to influence these invisible forces, not just be influenced by them. Your thoughts, intentions, and actions create ripples in the energetic field around you. By consciously choosing positive thoughts and intentions, you can start to shift the energies in your life in a more positive direction. Working with positive invisible forces can greatly enhance your life. This might involve practices like prayer, affirmations, or visualization. You might work with spirit guides or angels if that resonates with you. The key is to find practices that feel authentic and empowering to you. Lastly, remember that it's okay to seek help. Whether that's from a spiritual teacher, a therapist, or a supportive community of like-minded individuals, having support can make a huge difference in your journey. You don't have to navigate these invisible forces alone. As a chosen one, it's important to understand that your journey isn't just about personal growth. It's about playing a role in something much bigger. You're part of a collective awakening, a shift in consciousness that's happening on a global scale. But what does this really mean? And how can you step into your greater purpose? First, let's talk about the concept of collective consciousness. This is the idea that all of humanity is connected on a deep, energetic level. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions ripple out and affect the whole. As a chosen one, you're particularly attuned to this collective field. Your personal growth and awakening contribute to the evolution of the whole. Think of it like this. Imagine humanity as a giant tapestry. Each person is a single thread in this tapestry. As a chosen one, you're a thread that's becoming more vibrant, more alive. As you raise your vibration and expand your consciousness, you create a ripple effect. The threads around you start to vibrate at a higher frequency too. In this way, your personal journey becomes a catalyst for change on a larger scale. But what exactly is this change we're talking about? Many spiritual traditions speak of a great shift or awakening happening on Earth. This isn't about a single dramatic event, but rather a gradual raising of consciousness. It's about moving from a paradigm of fear, separation, and scarcity to one of love, unity, and abundance. As a chosen one, you're at the forefront of this shift. Your role might involve being a way shower, someone who demonstrates a new way of being in the world. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have all the answers. It simply means living authentically, following your inner guidance, and showing others that it's possible to live in alignment with higher truths. You might also be called to be a healer or a teacher in some capacity. This doesn't necessarily mean in a formal role, although it might. It could be as simple as being a compassionate listener for your friends, or sharing your insights through art or writing. The key is to share your light in whatever way feels authentic to you. Many chosen ones feel called to be advocates for change. You might feel passionate about environmental issues, social justice, or spiritual freedom. Trust these callings. They're often signs pointing you towards your greater purpose. It's important to understand that fulfilling your greater purpose isn't about doing something grand or dramatic. It's about being fully yourself and allowing your unique gifts to flow into the world. It's about making choices aligned with love and truth, even in small, everyday situations. These small choices ripple out and contribute to the larger shift. Remember, too, that your greater purpose will unfold over time. It's not something you need to figure out all at once. Trust the journey. Each step you take in your personal growth is a step towards fulfilling your larger role. Lastly, understand that being part of this greater purpose doesn't mean sacrificing your own joy or well-being. In fact, the opposite is true. As you align with your higher purpose, you'll likely find a deep sense of fulfillment and joy. You'll feel energized and inspired, even when facing challenges. Now, let's explore a simple yet powerful spiritual exercise that can help you connect with your inner wisdom and navigate the invisible forces we've been discussing. This exercise is called the Inner Sanctuary Meditation, and it's designed to help you create a safe space within yourself where you can receive guidance and recharge your energy. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed for about 15 to 20 minutes. Sit comfortably, either on a chair with your feet flat on the ground or cross-legged on the floor. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your body to relax with each exhale. Imagine a beam of light entering through the crown of your head. This light is cleansing and protective. As you breathe, see this light flowing down through your body, washing away any tension or negative energy. With each breath, the light grows stronger and brighter. Now, visualize yourself in a beautiful natural setting. This is your inner sanctuary. It could be a peaceful forest, a serene beach, a mountaintop, or any place that feels safe and sacred to you. Take a moment to notice the details of this place, the colors, the sounds, the smells. In this sanctuary, there's a special spot just for you. It might be a comfortable seat, a clearing in the trees, or a magical structure. Make your way to this spot and sit down. As you sit in your special spot, become aware of a wise presence approaching you. This could take any form: a person, an animal, a ball of light, or simply a feeling. This is your inner wisdom, your higher self. It's here to offer you guidance and support. Take a moment to ask your inner wisdom a question. It could be about a challenge you're facing, a decision you need to make, or simply what you need to know right now. Then, be open to receiving the answer. It might come as words, images, feelings, or simply a sense of knowing. When you feel ready, thank your inner wisdom and begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body. Take a few deep breaths, wiggle your fingers and toes, and slowly open your eyes. This exercise can be a powerful way to connect with your inner guidance and recharge your energy. Practice it regularly, and you'll find it becomes easier to access this inner sanctuary and receive guidance whenever you need it. As we come to the end of our exploration, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered. Being a chosen one isn't about being better than others or having an easy life. It's about being awake in a world that's largely asleep. It's about having the courage to see beyond the surface of things and the strength to face the challenges that come with that awareness. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There are others like you all around the world, each playing their part in this grand awakening. Your experiences, your challenges, your gifts, they're all part of something much bigger than yourself. The invisible forces we've discussed may seem daunting at times, but they're also incredibly empowering when you learn to work with them. They're the currents that can carry you towards your highest potential if you learn to navigate them skillfully. Your sensitivity, your feeling of being different, your deep sense of purpose, these aren't burdens. They're gifts. They're the very things that make you uniquely qualified to make a difference in the world. As you move forward from here, remember to be gentle with yourself. This journey of awakening is not always easy, but it's infinitely rewarding. Take time to nurture yourself, to develop your gifts, to connect with others who understand you. Trust in your inner wisdom. The answers you seek are already within you. The simple meditation we practiced is just one way to access that wisdom. Find the practices that resonate with you and make them a regular part of your life. Most importantly, don't be afraid to shine your light. The world needs what only you can give. Your unique perspective, your compassion, your courage to see things differently. These are powerful forces for change. You are chosen not because you're perfect, but because you have the potential to bring more light into the world. Embrace that potential. Step into your power. Trust the journey. Remember, being hunted by invisible forces doesn't mean you're a victim. It means you're awakening, you're growing, you're becoming more of who you're truly meant to be. These challenges are shaping you, refining you, preparing you for your greater purpose. So go forth with courage and compassion. Trust in the unseen forces that guide you. Know that every step you take towards your own growth and awakening is a step towards healing our world. You are chosen. You are powerful. You are needed. The world is waiting for your light. Shine bright, dear one. Your journey as a chosen one is just beginning, and it's going to be an incredible ride.